Cool. So you guys, welcome to the call tonight. Thank you for joining us on another series of Back to Basics. As many of you guys know that have jumped on this call before, this call is pretty much exactly what it says. This is all about going back to basics. Welcome to the call, Mel. And it's all about learning the basic skills and not overcomplicating everything. The one reason why I started this call was I was noticing in myself that when I first got started, I was just flying out the gate. I was running on passion. I was running on excitement. And I could not wait to share Isagenix with other people because I couldn't believe how incredibly amazing I was feeling. And what I want you guys to remember right now is the key is remembering how amazing you feel. Okay, so I want you to just make a note on your notepad right now, one adjective of the first feeling that you felt when you put the shake in your body, or the first feeling that you felt when you had your cleanse for the first time. And I want you to just write that adjective down. And what this is doing is it's going to get your brain thinking about how you first felt. And the key here tonight is, like I said before, we started this call so we could stop overcomplicating things. Like I said before, when I first got started, I could remember how crappy I was feeling when, like it was day one and I was like so bloated and I just felt just like garbage all the time. And then I started to feel this incredible energy, this incredible feeling of my body being satiated for the first time, from absorbing the minerals for the first time in my body. And I was like, whoa, like waking up in Australia at like 3-4 o'clock in the morning, waiting for the sun to come up so I didn't have to like face off with a kangaroo to get to the beach and like run or walk down the beach. And I'm not kidding you guys. Like that literally was my reality, was the fact that I was just so fired up about how great I could feel. And I think this is what happens with a lot of us is some people that are on this call have been doing Isagenix for years and years. Some people have been doing it for a couple months. Some people have been doing it. Welcome, Terry Ann and Mel and Sophie. I'm just going to mute you guys. Welcome to the call. It's so cool that you're jumping on. So what happens is I think is over time, just like kind of with anything, is we start to, first of all, we're so pumped up about Isagenix, right? We just want to share it with everyone. We're probably a little freaked out about like what we're going to say or what people are going to think, or, are they going to be skeptical? Are they going to ask me a question I don't know? And we get kind of like all caught up in that, but yet we still kind of fumble our way through it. And we just are pretty much running on adrenaline, right? We're running on that. I feel so good. I don't know what to say, but I'm just going to do it authentically. And for some reason, these people just start coming into our business and we start growing our sales, right? And so as over time, as things go, we can pick up so much information that we almost get so full here that we almost can't communicate out our mouth. I don't know if any of you guys have felt like that. Give me a thumbs up, or, in the chat. Yeah, a bunch of people are feeling that way. Yeah. Is that we get so caught up in like all the things to do that we actually like feel like somebody in our life or even ourselves are pushing the brakes and not just letting things flow through authenticity, right? So this was something that I was noticing in my own life, and that's why we started this call. So for the first couple of calls, we dealt with just like getting out there and sharing. So Gabby jumped on and she started to just share like, okay, like let's write a post, let's get you on social media, let's get the ball rolling, right? And that was my coach. That was the first person that came alongside of me, started to teach me about how to share Isagenix using a system that had been created. So I'm not too sure if you guys have ever been to an ICU or if you guys have ever been to any kind of training with Isagenix, but we just went to an ICU here in Vancouver, and it was incredible. And one thing that was sort of a common denominator through the whole event was the fact that it's just about sharing authentically. Now, one thing that a lot of people can get stuck on is like, okay, I get that. You want me to be authentic. You want me to share authentically, but how do I even start? Like, am I going to say the wrong thing? Am I going to put the wrong thing on social media? I mean, I've had a couple people that have been so pumped up about Isagenix. They get on social media and they're like, oh my gosh, I just joined Isagenix. I'm so excited. I can't wait to put these like isoline shakes in my body. And they just plaster Isagenix all over their page. And like they get totally bombarded by people just cutting them down, right? And so I think what I was thinking about tonight is I was thinking about, okay, how do we share in the middle, right? Because I think a lot of you guys will agree on the call that yes, it is really important to share authentically. Yes, it is important to be able to take that feeling of how great you feel but it is important to share it with a sort of a type of layout so that you guys can be able to get the ball rolling, sort of get the hang of it. And this is one thing that I was thinking about tonight. Like last week's call we had with Dominique McDonald, it was just kind of like going back to basics really, and just saying like, listen, you got to listen to your people, right? If we get on a call and we just start rambling on about, oh, the shakes have 25 grams of protein and they've got, 11 grams of sugar, it's like half an apple and blah, 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 and we just start talking, what we're doing is we're not allowing that other person to share and us to find a place to connect with them, right? So one thing we want to do tonight is we want to kind of do role play. So if you guys, any of you guys want to be, do this with me, I'm gonna do a role play on how I would talk to somebody for the first time in Isagenix that has either responded to a post that I have put up before or is just communicating with me because they've seen me around town and they've just been asking me questions. So does anyone want to do this with me, or do you want me to just pick somebody to be my guinea pig today on the call? Can I have a volunteer? Hands up. Anybody want to volunteer? No? Yeah. Okay, great. Chelsea, awesome. Hey girl, how are you today?
Hey, I'm good. I'm exhausted. I just got home not long ago from Vancouver, so
Yeah.
but I wanted to be on this call, so I'm so excited.
That's so cool, girl. I'm really excited that you're here and that you're going to be doing this with me. So do you want to give me either an example of somebody that you've talked to before and you kind of just ran into like a roadblock and you didn't really know what to say?
Oh, there's so many situations, but I think one that I encounter a lot is like, they seem interested, they want to lose weight, and then I like kind of go through different options, and then they say, well, I'll just get 2 things of shakes, and it's like,
yeah, okay. So yours
kind of go through that, yeah.
Yours is mainly on like the product and kind of just them sort of picking and choosing?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Does anybody else on the call relate to that? Ever have somebody that just said, oh, I just want one thing, or I just want this or that? Yeah, a couple people. Okay, this is perfect example. Great. So let's start out with, how about you've messaged me, okay? And you're like, what do you want to say? Hey, Trina, like.
Yeah, I'd probably say like, maybe you commented on a post or something. So I'd say, hey, thanks so much for checking out my post about my convenient breakfast.
Okay.
Something like that. And then say, was there something about it that attracted you to it?
Okay, cool. So we're going to turn the tables around here. So let's say that you're the person that's commenting on my post on Facebook. Okay. So first thing I'm going to say to you, right, on the post is I'm going to thank you for commenting. Okay. I'm going to be like, girl, it is so cool that you are looking to get some results of your own. I'm going to PM you and I'm going to fill you in on exactly what this is all about. Or I'll say something like, it's so cool that you're looking to get healthy too, or something along those lines. Now, you guys, I want you to remember one thing about this process is that if there is a word that I don't use, like keen or stoked or rad or cool, my mom's not going to say rad or keen, right? And neither are some people that aren't from New Zealand, right? Ashley's not going to say keen because that's an Aussie thing or a Kiwi thing, right? And so remember to just remain authentic. Like, you don't have to say exactly what I'm saying, but do it from the heart. Like, this person has just put themselves out there to comment on your Facebook post. You got to remember too, people that are on your post that are commenting, there is probably about 4 to 5 times that amount of people just watching. Okay. And remember this is that your Facebook post is like your story. Every day, you're not going to write an entire 12 chapter story on your Facebook post and expect somebody to read all that. 90% of the time, and this is coming from my personal experience, when I'm flipping through Facebook, if I see a post that is longer than like 2 paragraphs, there's a very small chance I'm even going to read that, even if it's from a friend. I'm not going to lie, because I don't really have the time to be sitting there reading these long, dramatic posts. And that's the one thing to remember when you are doing a post, try to keep it simple, right? There is some times where I'm trying to educate a little bit on my Facebook page, and I will throw up something a little bit longer. But remember, like, people that are watching your story, remember your story is like a page in a book, okay? So you don't have to give them a full chapter that one day just for your post. Like, oh my God, I got one post on Facebook. here's an entire chapter of my life. Your life with Isagenix is just beginning, or maybe has been going on for a couple years now. But as you have each page of your story coming out, people are going to be watching that. So just remember that, you know, if they're not necessarily commenting right now, they might comment a year later. 90% of the people that are in my very, very close network got started 6 months to almost a year later from my day one. Okay. It's mostly people that come out of the woodwork that are looking for a result that will comment. You're like, holy crap, I haven't talked to you since high school. And the first message will be, how much is it? And I'm like, hi, nice to talk to you. I mean, it's been 20 years, right? Like, wow, it's crazy, right? So let's go back to this, is that, first of all, you've commented on my post. So I'm going to just thank you, first of all. And I'm going to say, girl, I'm going to PM you. And immediately I'm going to go in. I'm going to send you a message and I'll be like, it is so cool that you are looking to get results of your own. You know, like how have things been? Like if I haven't talked to that person in like a year or two or longer, I'm going to start a conversation about their life. How is it? How are your family? How are your kids? Like, it's so cool to hear from you. Right. And then I'm going to just start to open it up. Sometimes people are not going to want to have a conversation. They're going to literally just be like, look, girl, I just want to know about the price. Right. That's okay. That's okay. But if it's somebody that is looking to, you know, to learn more information and to, or start a conversation with you about family and friends and stuff, go with that. Because 90% of the time, we're going to be able to connect with that person because they're looking for a solution. And that's the thing is like, we can get so overcomplicated about these amazing posts. Like, Trina, just tell me what to write. Tell me what to say. Tell me exactly how to do it. Think if you were in a conversation with someone, you know, and somebody told you, okay, I was actually going to do this tonight. I was going to go, have you guys ever seen the movie, what's the word, with Will Smith and he's the dating expert? Do you guys remember that movie? Hitch. Okay. You remember the movie Hitch where he's got the piece in his ear and Will Smith is in the office, like behind the door or something. And he's trying to tell him what to say. And she's standing at the door of her office, his office. And she's like trying to ask him and she's like asking for a pen. So Hitch is like passing a pen and he's like, you got to say this, dude. You got to say that, dude. And he keeps screwing it up. Do you guys remember the end of the movie after he screws up every single thing that Hitch told him to do? Like, you remember they go dancing on the dance floor and he's like, do not dance like that. But as soon as he like Hitch turns his back, he starts dancing like a total retard, right? He's just like shopping cart and embarrassing himself and all this stuff, right? And so the thing to remember is that no matter how bad you screw things up, right, in your authenticity, it's going to come out on top because you were who you are. In the end of the movie, she goes, it was because you spilled mustard down the front of your shirt and you danced like a total nerd on the dance floor and you constantly embarrassed yourself so that I wouldn't feel so uncomfortable is why I want to be with you, right? And I think a lot of the time we get so caught up in trying to look like we are, and we were just talking about this before this call started, is some of the speakers that were at this event, 18-star platinum. Do you know how many times people are cycling a week to hit 18-star platinum? That's like 750 cycles a week, okay? And I think what happens to us, and this is my personal experience, is I think what happens to us is that when we go to these events, we see these speakers up on stage that have done it all, right? They're 18-star platinum, earning all this money in their fancy outfits, and we think to ourselves, I have to show up the exact same way that person is showing up so that I can get the exact same result as that person that's on stage, right? How many times have anybody ever felt like that, right? All of us, every one of us. We've looked at the people on stage and we think, I got to say exactly what they're saying so that I can get to exactly where they're at. Well, guess what? None of us are Hayden Barbara and none of us are Trudy Maples, right? We are exactly who we're created to be. And the reason why that's so special is that you have a network that is in your friends list and your family list that loves you for exactly who you are. So let's show up on exactly who you are, okay? So Chelsea, you've just commented on one of my posts, okay? You're super stoked. You're like, girl, I want to get results like yours or whatever, or holy smokes, like you're on fire. Maybe she didn't even ask me about the pack, okay? She's just, by the way, welcome Sheldon, Sophie, Max, and I think that's it. So welcome you guys. So cool. My screen just keeps popping up with people jumping on the call. So this is awesome. So here's the deal. I'm going to private message you, and I'm going to either say, depending on if I've talked to you last week, let's just say I've talked to you last week. I'm going to say, Chelsea, it's so cool that you're looking to get results, girl. You know, can I talk to you about like what your goals are? Like, what are you looking to get results are? Are you looking for what?
I'm looking to lose some weight because I want to go on vacation in a couple months.
Awesome. And what would you say, like, if you had 3 top goals, like not just weight loss, but like feeling better in yourself? Like for me, what my top 3 goals were was weight loss. I was super stressed out. I wasn't sleeping and I had terrible energy. So if you had to pick between that, or, you know, it could also be like, you know, you want to earn a little bit extra money, or you want to have some money to go on that vacation. Like, what would be your top goals?
Definitely energy. I'm always exhausted. And I definitely always need more money to travel. So
Yeah, who doesn't, right? Buy an extra couple cocktails by the pool or something, right?
yeah.
So absolutely, girl. So that's really, really cool. Now, let's go back to like your first thing that you were looking for was weight loss. How much weight would you say that you want to lose?
40 pounds.
40 pounds? Cool. And is there a reason why 40 pounds? Is that what your size was before when you were in a certain pair of jeans that you got in your closet, or?
That's when I was my most confident.
Really? Awesome. That's so cool, girl. Well, I think 40 pounds is a great goal. I wanted to lose 45, so I definitely can relate to that. And I definitely am on my way there. I've down 35 pounds since starting Isagenix. So I think that that's a totally achievable goal for sure. How much weight would you say that you're, like, how quick did you want to lose that weight? Did you want to lose it really, really fast, or, you know, slower?
Well, my vacation's in January, so as hopeful, I don't know if it's possible to do it by then, but as much as I can before then.
Okay, cool. So we're in October right now. So I would say October, November, December, January. I lost my weight in about 3 months. So, you know, if you're looking to lose it that quickly, I definitely can not, I'm not going to sit here and say like, absolutely, you're going to get the same results, but I can tell you what I did if you're looking to do that. And I can kind of set you up on the same path so that we can really keep each other accountable. Would that be something that you're interested in?
Yeah, I think so.
Sweet. Awesome. So how about for your other goals? So you're low energy. How long have you been feeling like that?
mm, Probably since I, got out of high school.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Now, with this financial thing, like you're trying to earn a little bit of extra money, like how much money would you want to earn? Are you looking to, you know, just get your products paid for and save the money on that? Or are you looking to maybe create a couple $100s a week, or what would really benefit you or really take the strain off for you?
I guess I didn't really think about it till you mentioned that was even possible. So anything at this point is better than nothing.
Yeah. What would make like a really big difference in your life? Like if you didn't have to worry about a car payment, or you didn't have to worry about your gas for the week, or, you know, what would be kind of like a number, a roundabout number per week that would really make a difference in your life?
Um, per week, probably like a couple $100.
200 bucks? That's cool. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, awesome. So for a second, if you will do a little exercise with me, this is
Okay.
one thing that I found really, really helpful for me. If you want to close your eyes for a minute, I'll do it with you. I'll close my eyes too, so it's not weird. I want you to imagine yourself what it would feel like to lose 40 pounds, have an extra $200 coming in per week, and feel like you had abundant energy exuding from your body. What would be a word or an adjective that would describe how that would feel for you?
Liberating.
Liberating. Awesome. Awesome. That's so, so cool. So if you were feeling like, welcome to the call, Gail. So cool that you're here, girl. Okay. So close your eyes again. We're going to go through another question. So what would you be willing to commit to, like on a 1 or a 0 to 10 scale, to be able to feel that feeling of being liberated? What would that look like to you? How much are you willing to commit to that?
I'd say a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. That's pretty dang good. It's 90%. All right. So I want you to do one more exercise with me. I want you to close your eyes for a sec. And I want you to imagine if that weight were never to shift in your life, and that $200 would never show up, and your energy stayed the same as it is right now, and that vacation came and you were feeling uncomfortable and not confident and not liberated, what kind of feeling do you have in your stomach right now, or in your body right now? What comes to mind? An action,
Disappointed.
Disappointed. And if you were to put disappointment into a feeling, what would that feel like? Like an adjective.
Feeling pretty shitty, let's just say.
Yeah.
That's how it feels.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, awesome. Now, if we were able to make a plan, you can open your eyes. If you were able to make a plan to actually lose the 40 pounds, to make $200 extra a month and pay for your products and just get them for free, like, so an extra 200 on top of your products, also have that liberating feeling and abundant energy, and go on to your trip that's coming up in January feeling like hot tamale, would you be interested in me showing you how to do that?
Definitely.
Cool. Awesome. Okay, you guys. So I literally just walked Chelsea through exactly what I would say to somebody. And I did this the other day for the first time. So as you guys remember, about 3 weeks ago, we did a call with Erin Postel. Okay. She walked us through something called a whoop. Now, I want you guys to write this down if you've not done it already on yourself, or you've done it already on a customer. I want you to write this down. W is your wish. Okay. So what the person's goal pretty much is. Now, this goal will change over time. You don't have to do it like your why, right? You're not like, I want to go out there and change the world and heal, world peace. This is a personal wish for their goals, for their health and wellness of their body. Okay. So, and you can get deeper into this than just the 40 pounds, just the better energy, the like $200 extra a week. This can change over time. And what you're going to do is you're going to write this down. You're going to date it with the time that you talk to your person, and you're going to make sure that you can follow up with them. And as that goal changes, because Chelsea's going to lose that weight, her wish is then going to change. Maybe she's like, "Okay, girl, I want to cycle 750 times a week. Let's get at it." Right? So her wish may change over time. So as you date that, you can follow up with her as she starts her products. In a month from now or 2 months from now, you can redo this and ask her, all right, cool. What's your wish this month? Have we achieved our goals? And check in with your people. The second part is your opportunity. Okay. So this is the feeling that you're going to get if you actually get to where you want to go, like you're getting your wish happening. So you want to ask these people, like, what kind of feeling would happen if you were able to hit that? Like, if you were able to fit back into your jeans from high school, how good would that feel? So we're kind of combining two things here. If you guys have not seen this before, it's called the Jackson Parr cake recipe. It's on YouTube. So if you have not seen this, write it down. Jackson and then Parr, P-A-R-R. His cake recipe is something that actually, it's like a layer of an onion, right? So Chelsea, your goal on the inside is that you want to feel liberated in your life, right? The layers of the onion are the 40 pounds of weight loss, the $200 extra a week that would really help relieve some stress, the extra energy so that you're not working your tail off and spending all your energy working, right? But working smarter, not harder. And we're going to peel back these layers of the onion, but everything has an association to a feeling with it, right? And you want to get to that place, and don't be afraid to ask them, what would it feel like if you could never achieve that goal? And some people are going to get freaked out by asking this question because you don't want your person to feel crappy. But did you see how everything shifted when I asked her that question? And I really asked her, like, how would that feel? When Erin first did this whoop on me and she asked me what it would feel like if I never could get over the feeling of feeling like I am not meant to succeed, was my inside thing, right? And so she said, how does that make you feel? And I said, it feels like somebody kicked me in the guts, right? You got to kind of sometimes remind people of where they're at right now. Are they really happy? Because if it's not about a cost and it's not about, doing the work, and it's about the feeling that they're at right now, sometimes you got to remind them of that. Are you happy? Like, what's your goal if you don't move on from here? What's your plan? Because if not this, then what? And if not now, then when? Right? That's the truth of it. So we're kind of, I use the whoop to actually get that feeling associated. So I did this with one of my girls the other day when I signed her up. And I just said, how would that make you feel if you could hit this? And she's like, ecstatic. And I'm like, great. So what if we could make that happen? How cool would that be? And she was like, I would just be over the moon. So then I always take them back and remind them of, if we had a plan to do this, a plan of action to actually do this, because then they're feeling hope, right? Hope deferred, right? Somebody making you feel hopeless makes your heart feel sick. Okay, so if we give people hope by saying, okay, we know what your wish is, we know the feeling that we want to achieve, we know the feeling that we don't want to achieve by not moving forward from this place, and now we're going to make a plan to get there. What do you guys think would be the next step from this moment? I'm going to open up the floor if you want to unmute yourself and just give a kind of like, where would I go from here? Or Chelsea, where do you think? Okay.
Pack presentation.
Pack presentation could do. Okay. So that's a really good point. So here's the plan that I would say. Now we want to go back to experience, right? Okay. So what I would say is that, listen, I know exactly how you feel. I'm going to start intervening. Sorry, I don't even know the word I'm looking for. I'm not going to lie. It's been a long weekend. But what I would start to do is I'm going to start to use the feel, felt, found method now. Okay. So I know that this is getting a little bit like method, but this is how I relate to people on a really, really heart-to-heart basis. Okay. I understand exactly how you feel, Chelsea, because I was in your shoes too. 1 year ago, I was feeling like I had no energy. I had the worst digestion ever, right? I had no finances. I was working 14-hour days and I just quit my job because I couldn't take the stress anymore. And I was about 45 pounds overweight, right? Now I've just related to her, okay? That is huge. You can relate to anybody. There's always something you can find to relate to somebody, okay? So here's what I found, Chelsea. I found that if I put these products in my body that were specifically designed to help my situation that I was in, and I used the formula that somebody showed me how to share with other people, this is what I found, that I actually lost the weight, that I got my energy back, that I not only don't have to work for anybody else anymore, but I've made over $45,000 in a year with this company. So this is my first experience with it. And I had somebody show me and hold my hand throughout the whole thing. Would you be interested in learning how I did that as well?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Awesome. Right. So this is it, you guys. And I'm going to show with her. Okay. Chelsea, do you know 2 other people that might be feeling like you, that want to earn a little bit of extra money, or, might want to lose a little bit of weight, shift some weight, or get some better energy, or, even like age healthier, get better performance in the gym? Do you know anybody like that? Anybody that comes to mind?
My sister and my mom.
Sweet. Do you have a pen handy?
I do.
Awesome. Do you want to write their names down?
Okay.
Okay, perfect. So let's say that your sister and your mom, would they want to probably have about the same kind of products to meet the same kind of needs that you do as well?
Maybe. Definitely my sister. My mom has a lot of other medical things, so I don't know.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, how would you like it if I were able to help talk to your sister and your mom about their needs? Would that maybe help you if you wanted to get them started as well?
Probably, because I don't know what they need.
Absolutely. So we have kind of an accountability system with our company, and I actually can help you speak to them so that you don't really have the pressure or the feeling of having to explain anything to them. Would that help you if you wanted me to jump on and talk with them?
Sure.
Awesome. Cool. Okay, cool. So for instance, let's just say that your mom and your sister both wanted to get started. So would you be interested in earning a commission based on helping them get started as well?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Okay, cool. Because what you can do is if they get started, let's just say they use the same pack, because me and you kind of have similar needs, right? We had the same kind of goals. So I used a pack called what's called the weight loss value pack. That gave me everything I needed to get the best results. So when I got my 2 friends started on that pack, I earned $220 per person just to get them started. So I want you to write down on your page next to your mom's name and next to your sister's name, $220 each.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So when you help two people in any length of period of time, but in this case, if we help them get started in the same exact week, that would actually, it's called getting a double PIB. So really, if you get started one person per week, you'd make $110. But would it be better if you could make double that money?
Always.
Awesome. So what I did is I talked to both of my friends in the same week because I wanted to actually get my products paid for. So when you do this and you start talking to people and you get them both started in the same week, it's called getting a double PIB. So that's where the $220 comes from for helping them get started on that same pack. Now you're also going to get what's called a bonus. Have you ever gotten a bonus at work?
Nope.
Me neither. I think I won a free turkey one year. That's about it. So how would you like to get a bonus of $155 Canadian for helping two people get started?
I definitely would.
Would that like encourage you to start, feeling a little bit more confident about sharing with people?
I think so. I'd like to hope so.
Right? Because I think it's kind of like a cool reward. And what it is the company's so stoked about helping you get started that they want you to know that they're with you, that they've got your back and that they're there to support you. So they want to give you an incentive to do that. So if you write down $440
Okay.
plus $155, that's $595. Okay? So your pack's going to cost you $650. All right. So how much remainder are we left over with there?
$55.
$55. Cool. So would it be interesting? Would you be interested in knowing how to help your sister and your mom also eat for free?
Definitely, my sister needs all the help she can get.
Cool. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk to your sister and your mom when they get started, and we're going to ask them the same thing if they would be interested in sharing and getting a couple accountability partners, right? And so when they're going to do that, let's just say your mom gets two people started and your sister gets two people started. How would you like to get another bonus for stepping up and showing them the exact same thing that I showed you?
That would be sweet.
Cool. How about like a $200 bonus?
Really sweet.
Awesome. So do you think that would take care of that $55 extra?
Yeah.
And then would that almost give you $200 that week?
Looks like it.
So what if I told you that you would move up to another level of bonus, just helping your mom and your sister get paid and not only making $200 that week, but let's just say that you made over $350 that week. Would that be interesting?
It would.
Okay, because that's exactly what you're going to make if you were to help your mom and sister get their products paid for.
Cool.
So now you've got accountability partners to help hit your health goals because you got your mom and your sister to do it with, and you guys can all keep each other accountable. And if you want some inspiration, you've got me to help you, right? But you've also got your over $200, which one of your goals, right? And then all we got to do is start getting that energy up. How would you feel if that were happening in your first week?
Sounds exciting.
So for me, I started getting better energy 4 days in, and 6 days in, I was down 8.5 pounds and 8.5 inches on my waist.
Nice.
So all I did was do something called double cleansing. Or would you be interested in knowing about that?
That sounds scary.
Have you ever done a fast day before?
No.
No? Okay, cool. Because you know what? The thing that I love about this is that it's not about depriving your body. It's about giving your body what you need. So the thing about the cleansing is that it actually feeds your body and helps your body to be able to let go of the toxins. But would you be interested in doing that with chocolate?
I love chocolate.
So do I. So what I did with my first cleanse days is I drank green tea. I drank this yummy juice, which I actually turned into a slushie. I had that 4 times a day with the chocolates. And you know what? 2 days passed so quickly. And how would you like to know that at the end of that week, the scale would drop almost 10 pounds?
That sounds cool, but still scary.
Totally scary, right? I know. My girlfriend and I had to take the measurements 4 times just to confirm that that was actually like, I didn't have the tape turned around the wrong way. So here's the thing is that I can't guarantee that any of these results are going to be just like mine. All I can tell you is this was my experience, and the way that I felt right away taking these products were incredible. So, if you're ready to get started, we can pick your products out. You get to pick all your own flavors. and let's get started sharing with your mom and your sister and get you going on these goals.
Sounds great.
See? So you guys, this is a live, right? A live of somebody that I would actually talk to. And you might think maybe I've said too much information or maybe I've shared too much, but everything I did was take her back through all of the goals that she had, connecting her back and reminding her, this is exactly what your goals was. This is exactly how we're going to meet your goals. This is how we're going to talk to your family. You don't have to do this alone, right? So I'm reiterating every single thing that she had concerns about right throughout the whole thing and helping her see how this would work for her. So, right, you start with your wish, right, is what the goal of the person is. You talk about to them how that wish would make them feel, how it would make them feel if they couldn't achieve it. And let's make a plan so that they can actually achieve it and feel good about the goal that they're setting for themselves. So this is something that I've tried before. Now, I've just got a couple messages from people that are coming in and messaging me on social media. Now, a couple of people that will say, hey, you know, for example, I was talking to a girl tonight. She messaged me out of the blue. She's from New Zealand. And she said, hey, girl, like, I've been watching you on social media. I know you don't know me. And I said, cool. Like, you know, what's your name? I love meeting new people. Right. I was like, I have no clue who this person is. Right. So I start talking to her and I was like, what do you do? Like, what's your profession? What's your job? Like, say you guys, I don't know, a lot of you guys are using Instagram. Anybody using Instagram to talk to people about? Sort of, not really. Anybody? David or Ashley? Kind of, not really. Okay, I can't see who iPhone is. I think that's Sheldon, Mel, Max, or Sophie. If you guys are not necessarily wanting to turn your video on, you can throw your thumbs up or something in the chat. But let's just say you got a message from somebody that is on Instagram, okay? You don't know this person, you've never talked to them before, and you have no way of actually like checking out their Facebook page and seeing kind of like what they're into. So let's just say like completely cold call, okay? These people have contacted me and they're asking me like, what the heck do I do? How did I lose my weight, okay? So the first thing I'm gonna say to them is, it's so cool that you're interested in getting results. Would you think, right? When I first heard that, I thought that was so presumptuous of me to say. Does anybody else feel like that is a little bit presumptuous to say, looks like you want to get results? But here's the thing. They would not message me if they weren't interested in getting results, right? Right? When they're messaging you, that means they're open. Okay, so here's what I'm going to say to her. Girl, it's so cool that you're looking to get results of your own. You know, what would be your top 3 goals? I'm going to jump right into it, right? And she's going to say, blah, 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 blah. Then I might actually talk to her a little bit about like, that's so cool if you're looking, like, in one of her goals was finances. So I said, what, can I ask what you do for work? You know, where do you live? Oh, I'm living in New Zealand and I work as I don't know, somebody from the government sells insurance. Awesome. Cool. And she goes, and I also sell new skin. So here I'm keeping my ears open. I don't care if she's trying to recruit me into her business. If she is, perfect, because she's already open to getting a side hustle. Okay. So I'm not going to look at that and go, oh girl, like, I know you're probably trying to recruit me for your new skin business, and just shut it down. Heck no. I'm going to celebrate the crap out of that girl because she is open enough to try something different and to start a side hustle. So immediately I'm like, that is so awesome, babe, right? I'm just going to get into it. I'm going to talk to her like she's my best friend. And I'm going to say, hey girl, because you know what? She might be my new best friend. I don't know. Never met her before, but I'm going to treat her like I would any of my best friends. And I said to her, hey girl, that's so awesome. Like, how long have you been working with New Skin? Right? A year. Wow. Did you notice that she just told me 2 things? She told me I've been working with a network marketing company for a year. She needs finances. So what does that tell me? It's not working for her, right, Chelsea? I can read lips. So here's the thing is that we don't necessarily need people to tell us their whole life story to figure out, I got a door that's open. Okay. So I use this analogy when I first started sharing Isagenix with my team. I would do a team call and I would kind of give them the analogy of a house. So say each one of you guys or your Facebook page or your Instagram page or whatever it is, you are like a house. Okay. When you have somebody come to the door and knock on that door, that is like somebody putting a comment on your Facebook post or sending you a DM on Instagram. Now, if you want somebody to come into your business, are you going to make them stand at the door and talk to them through the crack? Not likely. You're going to want to invite that person into your home. So how do we do that? Right? So we get to the door and we answer the door. Hey, Chelsea, it's so cool to meet you. Where are you from? Why don't you come in and tell me a bit how you're doing, right? Like, tell me a bit about yourself. Let me know how you're doing. Would you like to come in and have a cup of tea, right? So first of all, we're opening the door to these people, right? Yeah, maybe they are strangers, but we're putting ourselves out there for a reason because we're looking for people who need something different in their life, okay? So we're opening the door to them and we're making them feel comfortable. So we're saying, it's so great that you're looking to get results. That's opening the door. Can you tell me a little bit about what your 3 top goals are? That's come into the house, okay? Now I'm gonna make them feel comfortable, right? I'm gonna start to ask them a little bit about themselves. Why don't you sit down and have a cup of tea? I know that this might sound really crazy to you guys, but I remind myself about this every single time I talk to somebody, because if I can imagine how it makes someone feel to invite them in, make them feel comfortable in your home and offer them a cup of tea, right? That's welcoming. It's warm. It's comfortable. So that person's going to immediately start to feel trust with you because you're making them feel comfortable. So what I want to start here is I want to ask any questions. I want to open up the floor because we're already almost like 15 minutes to the end of this call. But I want to open up the floor for anybody to put out either any objections that they've had from people, really tough conversations. They ran into a wall and got stuck and they didn't know what to say. They felt like they lost a sale because they freaked out and didn't know what to do. Is there anybody that wants to talk about that or ask some questions based on any of that? Hey, go ahead, Gail. It's so good to see you.
How you going, babe?
I'm great. I'm fantastic. How are you?
I am so good. So what I come up against all the time is money. Okay. Like the first initial outlay.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of people, they have the $150 or $100 or whatever it is for each week, but not to actually get started. So that's what I come up against all the time.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So this is a really, really great question. And I think it's the biggest issue that we have in Isagenix is people spending the money initially. Here's my top 3 suggestions. Okay. First of all, most people have a credit card. Now, this can look really scary, and I'm going to relate this to my own story. When I first got started, I was so desperate to get results that I put my pack on my credit card. It was $650, and guess what? That's money that I didn't have. But here's the thing that did it for me was that I knew I had 1 full month to either pay off that credit card or, hey, Sarah, welcome to the call, girl. It looks like she's at the gym. Way to go, babe. Hey, Max, how you doing, girl? I just noticed you jumped on. So here's the deal is that everybody has 30 days to pay off their credit card, right? So here's what I would say. You either get 2 people to get started with you. You love the products over the next 30 days. And if you cannot find 2 people and I cannot help you in 30 days get 2 people for your pack to get paid for, guess what? You can send it back even if you love it, and we'll wait until you can afford it. Right? That's one way to do it. Okay. Some people are like, oh, I don't know about that because then it's going to take 30 days to get your refund and blah, 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 blah. But here's the deal is that that's an option because it makes people feel like they don't have that huge overlying risk of what if they can't find their 2 people. I'm going to work with that person one-on-one and make them my dang priority to get that pack paid for in the first week. Right? So that's what happened to me. I had an enrolling sponsor who wasn't really comfortable coaching me because I was right out the gate. I was so passionate. I knew that I needed this because I did not want to go back to work for anybody else. Many of you guys might not know my story, but when I started with Isagenix, before I even put the products in my body, I didn't have a job. I have been doing Isagenix solely for the last year, from no job and no money to completely never having to work for someone else again. Now, that's not everybody's story, and I know that's not everyone's reality. But what I'm trying to explain is that before my products even got to me, I had just called up 2 of my girlfriends and said, listen, I'm going to do this. One of them who needed an online business and the other one who needed to get results. And I said, listen, I'm looking for 2 girls to do this with me. Both of them asked me what kind of pack I ordered. And I just told them, I said the weight loss value pack, and they both got started. I made 600 and I think it was 55 bucks, I think that week, Gail. And then it got celebrated on Facebook. And because that happened, my mom called to chew me out and tell me that I'm not supposed to make money online or in New Zealand or Australia, because I didn't have a visa. That conversation opened up a conversation with my mom to let her know that in 6 days I was getting results, and she wondered if it would help her too. So then I sold another pack, and so the story goes on. So that's one example that I would say is that if you have a credit card, you can put it on your card, and I'm going to work with you to get 2 people for the next 4 weeks. Otherwise, you can send it back, get your money back, even if you love the products, but at least we gave it a go and see if we can make a go of this, right? So the next step I'm going to do too is I'm going to offer them a 9-day system. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this 9-day system is I'm going to show them that if they do a 9-day system, they can give it a go. It's going to be a less overhead cost for them. It's going to be 100 BV for me. Hear this, you guys. You do not always have to sell people on the massive pack. Yes, Chelsea, it would help to get your instant return for your products, but you got to remember that you got to meet people where they're at first. Okay, that's so important, because it would be a shame for you not to get these people started just because you wanted to make a double PIB, right? We got to remember the whole reason why we're doing this business, and this is to help people, right? We are doing this to help people get results, to help people have hope again, to help people get a change again, right? So that 9-day system in your back office, just remember to keep an eye on your 100 BV, okay? Because this is really important. I made a pack the other day, an 11-day system in my recommended carts, and I noticed that it only came to like 92 BV, whereas the 9-day system comes to 100 BV. So it's kind of tricky, but they do that on purpose because they know that if people can't afford the bigger packs or whatever, at least you're still creating consultants on your team. Okay, so that would be another yeah, absolutely, Mal. So cool that you got on, and it's so good to see you. See you next week, hun. So thanks for jumping on, by the way. That's so awesome. So here's the thing is that if you don't get started on the bigger pack, you can get started on the 9-day system. And then this is the third option, right? Is that so the 9-day pack, Sarah, is in your back office or on your website. If you guys want, I'll just show you exactly what it looks like. I'll just share my screen with you. Let's move this little doodad here. There you go. So this is one thing that I actually just ran a competition for, just helping people get started. And it's really cool because last week we talked about that just meeting people where they're at and helping people get started doesn't mean that, doesn't mean that they have to get started on a massive pack. So this would be the 9-day system. It's 163.01 Canadian. It gives them enough shakes for actually 11 days. So this would be this could even go 11 days because that shake would be 7 full days plus 4 days of cleanse. That's 11 days right there, you guys. So I'm going to stop sharing. So in your back office, you guys can do 2 things. Here's one of my tips. If you guys were at the conference or if you've ever had this training by me before, I don't know where my cell phone is, but either way, on your phone, on your IsoLife app, if you click onto your IsoLife app and you go into the little person at the very bottom of your app, it looks like a little human being. You can hit that button, and that's called share. And you can go down, you can say share Isagenix. So when you click on share Isagenix, you'll see all of your recommended carts. Now, has anybody on this chat, hands up, if you've ever made a recommended cart before? Yep. Okay, we've got about 4, half the call, maybe. I can't see everyone else's hands if their screens are turned off. So here's the deal. I'm going to show you guys really quickly how to do this. So if you go into, let's go into my back office here. I got a whole whack of stuff pulled up. All right. I think I've got it still on share. I think it's still on share, isn't it? Share my screen. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to show you guys real quick. If you guys haven't noticed, they put this new robot thing on here. It's kind of annoying, but I guess it's for security purposes. Okay. So you go into your back office. You're going to go over here to team. So if you haven't clicked over into associate yet, you'll need to do that to be able to recommend carts. If you haven't become an associate, you can click on my account. This is just for the new people. Scroll down and there's a little button, a little green button at the bottom, and you can click become an associate. You'll watch a little associate video on how to get started, and then you will have this team button here. So now you can click on how to do a recommended cart. And my internet seems to be a little bit slow. Come on. See if we can do this. Come on. Let's see if I can reload this page. Oops. For some reason, it's not going to load. But either way, if you go into recommended carts, I won't go over that right now just because it's obviously not going through on the internet. But you click on that, and it's pretty straightforward, you guys. You can go in, you can click on choose products, and you just go through and you choose products, and you can choose your lifestyle rewards, meaning like the next order for the people. So what I do is I go down, I find the 9-day cleanse, I hit that button, I choose the flavors, it'll ask me what I want for the next auto ship. I'll just say repeat same order, or I will put, and this is a key, a 30-day pack as the auto ship. Okay, I will choose the flavors, and I'll go over that with my customer before obviously that comes. There is a video on YouTube that shows you how to do it as well. Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, absolutely. If you guys are wanting to learn any of this stuff, you can always go on Google and it'll pull up a YouTube video on how to do that. The other one that is really, really good, and I've just watched this last week, is called, oh, let me think now. I think her name is Sarah Smith. She's Jimmy Smith's daughter, and she has done a whole video on this, that she gets people started, and she built her entire business on 11-day systems. And then halfway through that 11-day system, at about day 8, because those packs usually take 2 to 3 days to get there, she will call into her person, ask them how their experience has been, and if they would like a 30-day system sent out after that. That's pretty rad, okay? So now they get a chance to say yay or nay. They get a chance to repeat the process that they're on again, or they can commit to a 30-day system, and you can remind them that 11 days costs $15 per day, but a 30-day system costs $9 per day. So ask them what they would rather do, okay? And this is the thing that I do for all of my customers, is I break down what it costs per day and per meal every single time, because I need to show them that they can afford this. That is so, so key for a lot of people. And this is why the 11-day system works, is some people can't afford to do $650 in one go, but they can afford to break their week down. Okay, so sometimes breaking it down per week really helps a lot of people. Now, this is just an option number 2, okay? Option number 3 for you, Gail, is immediately showing your person the pack that they want. And this is one thing that I've done from the beginning as well. I say, if you could, right, I help them dream. If you could pick any system you want, which one do you want? They always tell me the weight loss value pack. Why? Because who wouldn't want to try all the products? You got to remind them that this is their first chance to send anything back they want. Why don't we just go big or go home? So when they're going to say, okay, well, that's great, but it's still $650. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to work with you one-on-one throughout the week. We're going to put some Facebook posts up on Facebook, and I'm going to help you respond to your people. When your 2 people are ready to get ordering, right? And we can use my website until they're ready. So you can send them to trinacairns.com. They're not even going to read the link anyways. They're just going to click on it and view what the cart looks like, right? So here's the deal. So we're going to get your 2 people before you order your products. Would you be interested in knowing that you can pay for $650 and a little bit plus right away? Right? Would that take a little bit of the sting off? So instead of budgeting, you guys, because it's way quicker to help your person find 2 people than it is for that person to budget for that for a month. Let's get them started now, okay? So instead of budgeting, let's find you 2 people to do this with. right? So you can mostly get on the phone. I love the phone because people can hear me authentically. I'm going to jump on and be like, hey, Gail's mom, so cool to hear, get started with you. I love to talk to you about your goals. Tell me a little bit about yourself. She's going to be like, oh, I'm feeling good, but I could use some better aging products, right? Oh, awesome. We have a whole pack for that, right? So then I'm going to hear what she needs, and I'm going to pick some products and which would benefit her the best. And there you go. Awesome. You know what? It's going to take about a week for your products to get here. So would it be okay if I gave you a call when they're on their way? And I'll write down your credit card. Absolutely, honey. Here's my card, right? She's going to be so stoked for you, Gail. So there's your number one person. Now you have a week to find your second person. And you guys, remember, you do not want to be putting your one person in on Sunday night. Just tell them it's going to take 3 to 5 business days to ship. You're going to put them in on the Monday, and you're going to have a full week to find your second person. Okay. There's no harm in that. It's going to benefit you and them in the long run. So here's the thing. We're going to get on the phone with your sister, Gail. We're going to get her started, and we're going to pick packs for her. Right. And so what we're going for in this segment is we're going for, if you need this product, like your person needs their product paid for, we're going to ask them who actually has the money to do it in their network and needs the results. So those people are going to be able to sign up, but we're not going to go after the broke student who doesn't have any money to get her going, because then it gets into a chain of events where it goes on and on and on. And I got a budget, right? So it can get a little bit overwhelming. So we're going to go for those 2 people that probably have the money to do that right away. And then later we're going to help those other people. And we can use that person's story to share with those other people, right? Is there anybody else that has any questions before we end the call, or any tough situations that you've come across before that you're really just like, oh, I just need this answered, or any oppositions that you've been stuck with, or situations that yourself that you're just kind of stuck in a rut or not sure what to say? Anyone else before we?
I just find it like, I think it's a challenge for people to come up with money to begin with. Mm-hmm. I know we were just touching on that anyway, but
absolutely.
I know you've mentioned before about there's other ways to go about it, like sharing stuff on their Facebook wall and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's another thing you guys can remember too, is that in your this book, by the way, that we just got is called the Isolife Success Plan. Every one of you guys have access to this online. You literally can Google Isolife Success Plan. You can Google connecting templates that say about what to say. Now let's just say before you get started. So there's here, it literally tells you in the Isolife Success Plan, this is what you can text people, okay? This stuff is what you can send over a Facebook message. Now, remember before, last week's call was all about being authentic. So you don't necessarily want to take what someone in your, upline has written on their Facebook page and copy paste that, okay? What I would suggest is you make it a little bit more personal, right? If David Craig is using words like, hey, this is totally red, and I love skating, and I love the energy I feel when I'm skating, and who wants to skate with me? Like, I'm not a skater, right? I'd love to be, but I'm not, right? And Mel, you're not a skater, so you're not going to use the same words that maybe David has used, like sick and rad and skid, and not that he uses those words, but you know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna make it authentic. So here's the thing. In this, for example, let's just say if you haven't gotten started yet. So here's what you're going to do with your person. You're going to Google the Isolife Success Plan, and you're going to Google connecting templates. Okay. And, or if you guys, most of us are on Team Kickass, but if you're not, in our files, like on our team, we also have connecting templates, and we also have part 1, part 2, and part 3. So 3-step program on how to actually connect to people and what to say, and different types of like verbiage on what to use. And if you click on our files on any Team Kickass, so Team Kickass Canada US, Team Kickass ANZ, you're going to go down and find files on the side, click on files, and all of those files are there for you guys to go through. That's where I got a lot of my stuff from. So I'm going to share my screen again really quick, because I've already got this pulled up on my screen. And I'm going to show you exactly what these connecting templates look like. So here, for example, is the text message. So say you haven't gotten started. So let's just say, Mel, you're going to text your girlfriend, okay? Hey, Annabelle, I'm interested in starting a health and wellness system, or are you interested in starting a health and wellness system with me? I am ready to, and you can use your own words, like lose some weight, get better energy, really break through this like afternoon slump or whatever, and feel like myself again, right? Or feel better than I've ever felt in my entire life. And then you can explain why you're excited about the system, right? I'm so excited to get started. It is a simple, effective system, and I'm excited to get started. Do you want to try this with me? So this is just like an example of a text message. But for me, what I'm normally going to say is, listen, I have been feeling like crap for way too long, right? And I need to do something different because I've been eating clean, going to the naturopath's office and doing the same dang thing for 30 years, and I have not been feeling any better. So I don't even know if this is going to work, but I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to see if this is going to work for me. I can't guarantee it's going to work for you either, but I want to do this with somebody because I don't want to get down the road in a month and me feeling incredible and looking back and thinking I could have brought you with me. Do you want to do this together? If it doesn't work, we get our money back, right? How much better does that sound compared to, I was feeling blah, blah, blah. Like it can be robotic and we can kind of lose that natural touch. When people know that you're being authentic, they can feel it instantly, right? They're going to know instantly that that's you because they know you. People know me. They knew that I was suffering for 30 years and in and out of doctor's offices and feeling like garbage. And the friends that didn't, that is going to be impactful to them to hear that that was my story. And even if they don't necessarily need to get results of their own, they're probably going to do it with me anyways, just to show me support, because that's what my friends are like, right? And so this is the thing is that make it authentic to you, right? You don't have to write a huge paragraph. That took me 3 seconds to share with you, right? And what I would love to do as well is I like to take my phone out and send a Facebook message, but I like to hold the little audio thing down and send an audio because then people can hear that I'm being authentic. Okay, that it's me that's doing the messaging, that I'm not just, verbing out somebody else's stuff, right? It's coming from my heart. So that's what I would suggest to do. You can send it in a text message if you want to, or you can send it on a typed out message on an email, which I've done before, and also on a text message or a messenger message. So that's another thing. So, but you guys can use these templates to kind of give you an idea. It doesn't have to be crazy long. And remember to make it your own, right? Make it totally your own. Don't ever say something that isn't true, right? You gotta remember, people are going to know if you're feeding them lines or feeding them too much, too much hot air. Okay. We don't need to get crazy. We don't need to say it's 25 grams of protein and half the sugar of an apple. If they ask you those questions, here's another one of my tips, you guys. This is what I learned from Gabby from day one, is that she said to me, listen, you don't have to do this alone. Okay. It is better if you actually bring somebody into the conversation because it's going to give you third-party recognition. So here's what I would do. I would pick somebody. It doesn't have to be necessarily your mentor or your upline, but I would pick somebody that you are kind of vibing on the same vibe with. So, and I would also give that person that I'm bringing in to explain to this person a call beforehand. And I'm going to say, listen, this person that we're going to talk to is very skeptical. Does not like loud noises or hype or, a bunch of fake fiddle faddle. She is a red personality. So we need to be to the point and direct. She's going to want to know facts. So make sure that you know the exact facts. She doesn't have a lot of money. We need to have a game plan before we talk to her. So I'm going to have this little conversation. Then Mel and I are going to get on the phone with this person. And I'm going to speak to her probably like I would speak to somebody who is a red. And you guys, if you don't know what I'm talking about, a red is like a leader. They want exact fast facts. They want to know exactly how they're going to get there. So for instance, I signed up somebody who was a red. It scared the crap out of me because I'm a blue. Blue means very emotional, intact with their feelings, and contribution focused. White are people that will sit in the background and wait for everything to happen because they like to analyze everything. A yellow is Gabrielle Dean, like pom-poms and, bikinis and pants off and party, right? And a red is somebody who's really, really focused on knowing how fast what do I need to do to get there? How fast I need to get there? I want the exact facts and I don't want any bull crap. right? Like, don't fluff, don't compliment me, just like give me what it is. So it's really important to update the person who's going to jump on a call and really speak to your people in a 3-way call. First of all, about like what needs to be said, you know, like what is this person looking for? Who are they like? And what do they need? If I'm going to talk to a blue, there's no way in heck that I'm going to get a red on with a blue. Okay. Why? Because if that red comes on to somebody who is emotional and wants to talk about their feelings, they're going to get frustrated and they're going to want to cut that conversation short. So I'm going to find a blue to talk to the blue, right? If I'm going to have a girlfriend, like this girl that just connected with me last night, I can go on her Facebook page and I can look at her pictures and I can see right away she's a yellow. Crazy, wild, tongues out, bikinis out, short shorts, traveling around, wild Halloween outfit. Guess who I'm going to get to talk to her? Gabrielle Dean, and she's from New Zealand, right? So here's the thing is that if you guys need to have a 3-way conversation, you don't always need to pick the same person to do it, right? Get in your network, figure out who's like that person and what their story is. And brings me to another point. If you're ever going to share a video with somebody on Facebook, on Messenger, about results that you've seen and thought, oh, I really, really think that you could do this. You remind me so much of this person. Make sure that that video relates to the person that you're sharing with, right? So like if it's a grandma, I'm not going to send her a start your life video. Why? Because she's going to get offended because they talk about it's from 18 to 35 years old, right? And bikinis everywhere and feeling young and fresh and hip and traveling the world. That's not going to be for my 98-year-old grandma. Right? So I'm going to find somebody that's got an anti-aging story and feeling like this is what I did for my grandkids. And there's so many stories available out there, you guys. Okay. So it's 8:08. I'm going to wrap up the call. Is there any last minute questions?
Just that maybe that eat for free, just, I don't know if you wanted to mention anything about that or.
The eat for free. Yeah. So we talked about that when we were talking with Chelsea. It's the you share, they share. So
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
If you guys want to learn more about this, I'm going to give you one word of wisdom. Go to YouTube, type in Isagenix International Canadian Compensation Program and watch that video until you can recite it in your sleep. Now, most people ask me, Trina, like, how did you get your business cranking from day one before you put these products in your body and had this kind of growth over the period of a year, right? Without having any money to fall back on. How do you think I did that, you guys? I went into my back office. I watched clicked on every single tab I could. I watched everything. Do you know what I did before this call? I sat in the bathtub with my essential oils because I had a long weekend of lots of training. I ate my shake and I was watching a video on how to share Isagenix with people before this call. That's how I spend my time, is I constantly feed myself information so that I can be able to answer questions, right? So don't always look for people to answer questions for you, but be proactive. Get on YouTube, watch videos. Do you know I have a whole YouTube playlist that says Isagenix tools that I've made a playlist on YouTube. Have you guys ever made a playlist on YouTube before? Anybody know how to do that? Okay, if you don't know how to do that, just private message me and I'll show you what to do. But you literally watch a video. If you like it, you can hit save on the bottom and it will save and you can label it as a YouTube playlist or whatever. So I labeled mine as Isagenix tools. So any stories that really resonated with my heart, I save those. So the next time I need to share them, I have the full list. I can go down and be like, oh, and I can save that video as labeled as, you know, healthy aging or hockey players in Canada or, you know, busting it in the gym with an NHL player or, you know, a football player or whatever. And I'm going to get a whole list of videos. Every time I talk to somebody, I fly into my YouTube, grab that, send it right towards their messenger. There, now they can connect. They can relate, right? And relatability is so powerful. And so, like I said, you guys, the way that I started to share Isagenix and show people the money, I had to know the compensation program inside and out. So if you've been doing Isagenix for over like a month and you don't know the compensation program, get in onto YouTube and watch it over and over and over again. I had to learn Australia first because I started in Australia. Then I had to learn New Zealand because I was living in New Zealand. Then I came back to Canada when I started sharing Isagenix in Canada. And then I had to learn UK because because I started sharing with people in the UK. So here's the thing is that there's so much information available for you guys to be able to learn, but get amongst it. If you're going to go and cycle at the gym, plug it into your ears and just listen to somebody sharing. You share, they share, you share, they share, right? And learn the numbers so that when you get on, you can just be like, with Chelsea, I knew my numbers right off the bat, right? And that's because that I've also gone onto my website and I learned the main packs that I want to share and the cost of what those would be. And I know the BV in my head. So if I know that they say, hey, I can't do the weight loss value pack, guess what? I'll get you on a 9-day cleanse. It's still 100 BV for me. I signed one more person up. I just made another consultant, right? So knowing your numbers, knowing the facts, so powerful, you guys. Did you have any other questions? Yeah.
I just wanted to ask, which comp plan is it? The Eric Coover one? Like, there's so many on here.
There's so many. Yeah. And that's a great question. Okay. So for the first one that I ever watched, what I ever learned from, and this will be good for you, Gail, or Terry Ann, you're in New Zealand. Gail, you guys, your pricing with Australia is pretty similar. But for the comp plan for you guys, I watched Lauren, what's her name? Petrovic. Lauren Petrovic's compensation program that she did is really, really good. She drew it all out and I just got it like immediately. I just watched it like 4 or 5 times on the day that I enrolled. I was like in it. I know I was like, if I'm doing this, I am doing this. Right. But I was in Australia, so I didn't know the cost of stuff in Australia. So for the Canadian one, let me just go on share screen again real quick. Let's go to YouTube and take a look-see, because I watch all of them, to be honest. The ones that are really good too are in your back office. For some reason, my back office isn't loading very well right now, but let's go Isagenix compensation program Canada. So here's maximizing the compensation program. That one's really good. That one's about 12 minutes long. It's pretty good. I click on a lot of other ones and I'll watch them and find out which ones are pretty good. Here's Gabrielle Dean sharing about the compensation program here. We've also got Jim and Kathy Coover, when they're going over this, like Jim's compensation training here. This is really good. There is, let me see if I can find Lauren Petrovic's on here. Let's see. I don't know if I can find it on here. I probably saved it. Oh, there's a new one by Eric Coover. That's cool. That's for the UK though, I think. Okay, let's go to see my library here. Hold on. So there's a bunch of them, you guys. Like, just find the one that works best for you. And maybe you're going to have to watch 3 or 4 of them before you find one that you really relate to. For me specifically, like I said, I just went into my back office and I found ones that really like spoke to me. So let me see if I can go into my back office here at the same time. Sorry, I guess I must have signed out of my YouTube, so I don't know where my channel is. Here we go. Let's just see if I've got one in my tools. I might have removed it. Let's take a look, see. So Isagenix tools. All right, so I'm gonna scroll. So here's maximizing the compensation program. This one here is, I'll copy paste the link to this one.
We call this our code.
So this one is 12 minutes long. I'll just grab the clip here and I'll tap it into the messenger here, and you guys can copy paste this one. Oops. There we go. If you guys want to use that link to be able to, I'm getting a little bit of feedback here. I'm just going to mute you, Mel. If you guys want to use that link to be able to like go over the same one, just go in and find which one is best for you. You know, like DC, you might connect with more of Jim's Coover one or Eric Coover's one, right? Or Gail, you might connect more with Kathy's, right? So every one of us is different. We learn differently. And there's so many different ways to look at that. Gabrielle Dean, she has her own compensation program that she draws out. So you can also look at that one as well. Was there any other questions about that? or about anything else before I shut down the call? Anybody else? No? Okay, cool. Well, next week we're going to have another guest speaker. This week was a little bit challenging only because we just did Isagenix and everyone was traveling, but I'm really, really excited for next week's speaker. Next week, by the way, is all about getting out of your comfort zone. So I also wanted to share one thing with you guys too. Just before I turn this off, I just remembered I wanted to share one last thing with you guys. On this video that I was watching today, if you were looking to kind of go over on what to say, I'm going to send this Vimo link into the group here. And this was incredible. So this is exactly the video that I watched while I was in the tub. And remember how I told you at the beginning of this call, write down a adjective to remember how you felt when you first put your first shake or your first cleanse in your body. So don't ever forget where you've come from, you guys. No matter how much information you have floating around in your head, sometimes it's good to write that information down, put it on a notepad, and remember, like before you speak to anybody, close your eyes for 2 seconds, take a deep breath, and I want you to think about the first moment you put that shake in your body. The way you felt after your second cleanse day was done. Not the halfway through and you're like, oh, I need a knee shot. I've got the worst symptoms ever. Like, right, detoxing. But think about how that made you feel when you completed that second cleanse day and you stepped on the scale and holy smokes, I just dropped 4 to 5 pounds, right? Like that feeling. And remember when you're talking to these people, remember, like, first of all, you know, and most importantly, I think, is the fact that you want those people that you're talking to get the same results. That same feeling that you felt when you were like, wow, I finally feel satiated. I finally feel like my body has what it needs. My bloating is going away. I feel like my energy is coming back and I can't wait to bounce out of bed and go to the gym. Or like Ashley and I, we go to the gym and we're just like exploding, right? Box jumps and stair climbers and lifting weights and feeling amazing. Like, think of what it was like a year ago when you were like, I honestly don't want to ever get out of bed. I'm in so much pain. I feel terrible, right? And remember, like, your story that you're sharing, you guys, your 30-second story, right? The whole thing starts with 3 adjectives of how you felt before Isagenix got started, right? Then it's 3 adjectives on how you feel after. Don't ever forget that, because that's your story. That's going to be so powerful. So remember, guys, that last link that I stuck in the chat tonight, if you guys want, go on and watch that either tonight before you go to bed or tomorrow. It's not a very, very long teaching, but it's so powerful on showing up authentically, how to use the templates, as well as how to remember these adjectives and how to use them. And it's so, so good. It's teaching from Global Celebration, I believe, from last year. So on the Vimo site, like on the Business Canada site, there is so much information. I'm going to just show one last thing here. If you guys are looking for more videos to watch, so this was the Vimo one on what to say and made easy. I'm going to close that window off. So here on Isagenix Business Tools, you guys can look at all the different types of training that are on here, from podcasts and resources and different types of training by rank and connecting templates, and everything is here already done for you guys. So if you can't find it, or you're feeling frustrated because you don't know where to find this information, it's all here. Take like an evening to shut the TV off instead of watching Game of Thrones and go through Isagenix Business Tools. Like, how powerful would it be if the thing that you were looking for forever was right there, right? How powerful would it be for you to be able to say, when I got started, I didn't know what to do, but guess what? This whole thing was done for me. And it's all here. All you got to do is watch it, right? It's already done for you. So here's the link for that. I think we've got like 3 links all smushed together, but hopefully you guys will see them. It'll be the first one's the YouTube link, second one's the Vimo link, and the third one is the Isagenix Business Tools, okay? So thank you guys again for showing up on the call. I know we've gone a little bit over time, but remember, next week is all about getting out of your comfort zone. So what it feels like to actually step into your destiny and step into the person that you're created to be with your business and your vehicle. So thank you again. I'm going to quickly unmute everybody. Unmute, unmute, unmute. You guys might have yourself muted, so I don't know if I can do it. But anyways, we're going to take a screenshot like we do every week. There we go. All right, everybody say cheese. Cool. Thank you guys so much. It was so great to see you all. Thank you for being vulnerable and asking questions. I know it's never easy. And thank you, Chelsea, so much for being the example for today. That was so cool.
Anytime.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely, you guys. So we will see you all next week, same time. Bring your team, bring anybody that's new. You know, this teaching will be great for anybody. It can be applied in any kind of business, whether it's this or whether it's something they're in already. So just if you get them on the call, it's so good to be able to have more people to join us, because we want to share how to get through these things that we're feeling struggling or feeling like we need to overcome. But if you ever have any questions or you weren't comfortable in asking me openly on the call today, you guys can always private message me. I'd be happy to help you. If I don't know, I'm going to find somebody who does. Okay. All right. Love you guys. Have a great weekend. See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.